Hi everyone, this is Mark Bates. This is Rabbit Room Apologetics. Okay, so the next several videos I'll be working on here, end of the year stuff. Usually when I'm teaching live, I like to end the year by telling people, okay, so this is kind of what we've covered, and we've just started here on YouTube, so I don't have a lot to cover there. But I also like to say, so this is what I like to teach. This is what you should expect from me, and this is what we're going to be doing in 2026. So I'm going to try to do that here, so you have an idea of what my thought process is, and potentially why I'm worth listening to, right? So I'm showing you my screen from the Logos Bible System on my PC. I have a fairly large screen, so if you're looking at, let's say, maybe your mobile phone, right, your smartphone, or even you're watching this video on like an iPad or something, it may not be very large to read. So don't worry about that. I'll tell you what I'm looking at, and you can research it later. But I just let you know what I'm looking at. So I've mentioned before that in terms of my Bible study, right, and this is my standard Bible study screen, I start with 3 basic English translations. I use the ESV. That one's well known. Most people know that one. They have access to it. And I like it because it's a good word for word one. We'll talk about what that means in terms of the Bible study aspects in just a second. I use the Christian Standard Bible because that's the one that the church I go to uses. And when I'm talking to people there, it's easier for me to just quote in what they're going to pull out as their text and read it. It just solves issues there. And then I did talk about the Net Bible on a couple of videos, and I like that one because it's not a word-for-word translation. It's a equivalency type translation where they try to get the thought into there. And what I really like about the Net Bible is it provides these notes, translator notes. So if you're looking at, in this particular case, let's look at chapter 1, the creation of the world here, right? And you want to know why the translators pick specific words. If you go to the translator notes, they will tell you why they chose specific words. It's always nice to have that. You don't really have that with the other Bibles that are out there. So this is convenient for that, right? But I do like that. On the English Standard Version, one of the things I do like is when you're doing word studies, especially if you haven't taken the languages, study in the languages, this gives you a good view of what the Greek or Hebrew word is underneath the text, some information about the word. You can get these defined, what the lemma, the root, the morphology is. Gives you a Strong's number here, which just helps identify it in other tools within Logos, right? I don't particularly use Strong's concordances themselves, but it's a convenient way of finding this word in other tools. So that's what I use in terms of the Bibles. Up over here, 2 things I find very important is to have the NIV Cultural Background Study Bible, because we talk about you need to understand the context of the text and understand what the culture was at the time that the writers were writing. So having that is very handy. Of course, I pull up other stuff, but this is what I always have. I have that one, and then I do like the Faith Life, which is the Logos Study Bible, which is built into Logos, and so that's in there as well. And then we'll get a word Bible study, Bible word study app here, which is once again just helps identify words and how many times they're used and what some of the potential translations were, and that's nice. And then when I get really deep into the words, you need to have interlinears, which really help define how everything was laid out, what the Greek words were, what the English words are associated with that, what the different morphologies are. That helps you there. And I find it's very important to work in both the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Septuagint, because there's a lot of information on the Septuagint that's slightly different than the Hebrew, and you want to know why, and you want to look at those things to look at. So this is the base set that I work from. You can work from others, right? Now, one thing I really love about Logos, and this is currently it's a beta test, or it's an early one. Is the study assistant, and it's only available on the PC versions. It's not available on the Mac yet to this point, and it is not available on the mobile platforms or the mobile apps that they have. But I really love this one because what it is essentially it's an AI built into Logos that's tied to all of their books and all the books that you own. So one of the things I want to do here is talk about how do we define theology. So I said, okay, define theology. And here's the information that they gave. And here are all the references. And if you pressed on the reference point here, if you have the book, like in this case I do, it'll show up in the book itself so you can read the context there. If you don't have the book, and like this is one I know that I don't have here, so I click on that one, you'll see it comes up and gives me the option to buy it. I can buy it right now. Usually these are not that bad in terms of price, because once you buy it, you own it. So you can get those if you feel that's necessary. So that's why I like this. So that's the first thing, just why I like Logos. And I'll be using this for much of the upcoming videos, just so that you can see me using it and how I do it. Now, with that in mind, what I wanted to start with is why I do these videos and why it's maybe different than some of the other things you have here. I want to try and provide a look at theology that is academic. So it's not based on a specific form of theology. There are a couple on there which we'll get into. It's not based on a denominational viewpoint. It's trying to be very open-minded. So what happens a great deal is I don't give you a single answer. I try to give you what other people look for. And why that's important is I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to imply that I know everything. I certainly don't. Nor am I implying that the way the places I teach at, and I've been doing this for 25 years, are correct. What I'm saying is that look at what I'm giving you, because I'm trying to give you a broad answer to a question and multiple options to it. And then it may or may not change the way you look at that text or that reference, but hopefully it expands your horizons about it, okay? And so the whole idea here is to expand your horizons and give you some proof texts that you can use for everything. And I will be covering not only the Bible, but also some of the other issues that we as Christians come across quite a bit, right? Whether it's some of the cults or Islam and things like that. So we'll have videos on all that. And I do have text for all of that information. So the idea here is if you're looking for somebody to look at specific things and give you a broad answer, and one that you can maybe agree with one of the answers in there, but the other ones hopefully open your mind to what they are and help you understand other Christians, right, and how they're thinking. That's the whole point of this, is to give you that theology to fall back on. So if you have any questions, let me know. We're looking for it. Now, if you look at the description, you'll find two links in there. One is to my Bible study platform. It's $10 a month, and there's a cost to keeping that up and running it. And so I'm just hopefully trying to spread the wealth out, the cost out, not the wealth, I'm sorry, the cost out as much as I can to everybody to keep it as user-friendly as I can. But the idea there is it gives you a couple of things that are very important. One, there are more videos on there than I post on YouTube. They're built into courses so that you can help expand your experience in theology. It's a direct access to me, right, in terms of asking questions, and I try to give you very complete answers in there. And the third thing is it is a forum, right, that you can ask a question, other people can answer you, you can answer other people's questions, you can express a point of view, say, what do you think about this? It's that iron sharpens iron concept, right? And if we build a community, the idea there is to do that. Okay, the other link you'll find is is a discount for Logos. If you want to buy Logos, they're on a new subscription system, which is relatively low cost and easy to get to. So you can look at that and you get a discount. If you're not using Logos, it's a great place to start. Okay, so if you haven't done so, please think about liking and subscribing to the channel and sharing this to a friend who might need it. All right, thank you very much. Have a great day.